Morning, grade 10s. Today we're going to be taking a look at our next lesson in climate change, which is indicators of climate change. So there's going to be less slides to go through and more just giving you some instructions on an inquiry activity you're going to be doing. Should at most take you about an hour, probably less than that as long as you're using your time wisely. Again, if you have any questions, check out when my office hours are this week as well. You can email or post on Google Classroom, and your peers or other students in the class or myself can reach out to you and help as well. So today where we are in your textbook is section 8.2, page 310 to 316. We're going to be looking at indicators of climate change. So what we're going to talk about, we're going to first explore, woohoo, sunny winters, here I come. Why is climate change a bad thing? If it's just going to get warmer here in Canada, isn't that a good sign? Then we're going to talk a little bit about some indicators of climate change we have in Canada. You're going to be doing some work on summarizing some of the research that's been done, so I can post an answer key for you and your peers. And then you're going to be doing some submission on Google Classroom. Again, how you submit your work for this session is all posted on our weekly outline posted on Classroom. So by the end of the class, what you should be able to do is describe to me some of the indicators of climate change in Canada. All right. So wouldn't it be great if in Canada we just had warmer winters? If it was nicer out, it wouldn't be as cold. Wouldn't that be a good thing for us? So warmer temperatures caused by climate change might be a good thing for a cold place like Canada. Miss, why was this something we need to worry about? Well, what we need to remember is climate change also means that we are going to get more extreme and more unpredictable weather. So we're not just talking about global warming, we're talking about climate change. So we're going to get more ice storms or more droughts or more blizzards and extreme weather. So essentially, climate change means more energy in the atmosphere, which means more instability in our weather. We're going to get more extreme weather, and more, which isn't ideal, okay, which could cause more damage. So some examples of some negative effects of climate change in Canada would be rising sea levels. So every year, sea levels can rise, and a lot of times it's from melting of ice in northern climates. And even if the oceans are rising even by only a few millimeters a year, this over time can cause significant damage. This is actually going to reduce the amount of land available in Canada. So for example, you can look at some maps that have been produced by different environmental organizations in Canada, which say things like Delta BC, Charlottetown could over time completely disappear and be submerged in water if sea levels continue to rise. Okay. So what you're going to be doing for this module is you're going to be looking at an indicator of climate change and come up with a short handout that you can submit on Google Classroom. So this should be somewhere between a half and a page. Don't submit 3 pages. This is just a short summary based on your research of one of the ways that we're seeing indications of climate change in Canada. Okay, so on your little summary handout, what I want you to address is describe your indicator of climate change and what's causing it. Describe how this indicator directly affects Canada, so look for Canadian data, and provide a specific example from Canadian history if possible. You can find one. There are some good examples in your textbook. And then I want you to do some research and say, do you think the Canadian government is doing enough to address this indicator? Sorry, there's a spelling error there. It should say indicator. Okay, so this information is on page 310 to 316 of your textbook. You can also use, of course, your online resources available to you through the library, through just your access to Wi-Fi. And what indicator of climate change you're going to be looking at is based on the first initial of your last name, okay? So if your last name is between A and D, you're going to be looking at heat waves. If your last name starts with an E through a G, you're going to be looking at droughts and wildfires. If your last name starts with an H through K, you're going to be looking at storms and floods. If your last name starts with an L through P, you're going to be looking at melting ice. Q through S is going to be looking at ocean warming. T and U is going to be looking at ocean currents, and V through Z is going to be looking at rain shifts. So if you start in page 310 to 316 of your textbook It'll give you some instructions or a good place to start your research. And again, you have accesses through the library resources that are still available to you. You have access to your internet and any other research opportunities that you have. Okay. So specifically, if you want to look for the exact page that you guys are looking at, your topic is somewhere between page 310 to 316, and they're all outlined here. Okay. So you know what topic you're going to be doing based on your letter, and you're going to be submitting this by the end of the week on Google Classroom, and the instructions for submission again are on that weekly outline. Okay. So if you have any questions of what's expected for you, please reach out. And otherwise, stay safe, stay home, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon.